yesterday we mentioned that because of Muharram, we started off that Muharram, the fasting of Muharram, which is on the 10th of Muharram, according to a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, are special due to two reasons, specifically mentioned in the hadith. One is a hadith in which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reports that he comes to Medina and he asks the people of Medina, why do people fast? Because Rasulullah was already fasting the 10th of Muharram from Mecca. There's a practice from Mecca. The Meccan people used to practice a fast because it was something that was carrying on from Ibrahim alayhi salam's time. So now when he asks them, why are you fasting? In one narration it comes, Rasulullah was told by the Jewish people that Fir'aun was destroyed on this day and Bani Israel was saved from the clasp of Fir'aun on this day. And another narration of Musnad Ahmad, they mention this. On top of that, they say that the Ark of Nuh alayhi salam landed on Mount Judi on this day. So we mentioned that inshallah for the next few days we'll take out a few lessons from both this incident. There's no time to go through the entire story of Musa alayhi salam, which is extremely long and has many different parts to it. We'll only concentrate on the part that is at the ending, when Musa alayhi salam was with Bani Israel who were actually saved. When we look into the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off, and that's a part recited, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى أَنْ أَسْرِ بِعِبَادِ إِنَّكُمْ مُتَّبَعُونَ فَأَرْسَلَ فِرْعَوْنُ فِي الْمَدَائِنِ حَاشِرِينَ إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ لَشِرْذِمَةٌ قَلِيلُونَ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَنَا لَغَائِظُونَ. وَإِنَّهُمْ لَنَا لَغَائِظُونَ is the part I want to highlight, and which is very important for all of us, especially living in America or in a world today where everything is anti-Islamic, where everyone is looking down on Muslims or looking with an eye of hatred to Muslims. And why is this so important? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a statement of the enemies of Bani Israel. That means the Fir'aun and his people. What do they say? That وَإِنَّهُمْ لَنَا لَغَائِظُونَ, that they have angered us. They have what? Angered us. Right? Now, let's look at the position of Bani Israel at that moment. Bani Israel, right, are the ones that were oppressed. They were the ones that were oppressed the whole time. Now, Musa alayhi salam has come to save them. He's running away with them from oppression. Right? Fir'aun and his people, all they had to do was stay home and relax in their gardens and their palaces. That's all they had to do. But instead, they ran after them. They went after them. And what are they saying? These people have made us extremely angry. These people have made us extremely angry. Why have they made us angry? Because they're getting freedom from the oppression that they were in. Now let's look at our situation in the world today. A lot of us sometimes, we try to dilute Islam so we can please the non-Muslims around us. Let's understand something. No matter how much you try, you cannot please them. You cannot make them happy. You cannot make them happy. Our intention for being nice to them is so that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide them. And that's what Allah commanded Musa alayhi salam, right? فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ. What was the purpose? لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. Speak kindly and nicely to them. This was a command from Allah to whom? Musa alayhi salam. But what was the purpose? Not so they become soft, not so that you can somehow mingle with them. No, so that maybe they will take a lesson and they will start fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So if you are going to dilute Islam and try to make them happy, we'll just keep diluting Islam until there's nothing left of Islam. But if we talk nicely to them and present ourselves in a very nice manner, which is the command of Allah, but keeping Islam as part of our lives, then they will see what Islam is. And then they will take a lesson in their fear. Hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put His fear in their hearts. That's number one. That's one. So let's understand that we will never be able to please the non-Muslims around us, because otherwise we'll have to completely destroy Islam for them to be pleased. Carrying on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the moment when Bani Israel comes and they're surrounded on both sides. They're surrounded on both sides. This is very important for us also. This is for our daily lives. Remember, in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about entire nation being sandwiched on one side by Fir'aun, on the other side no escape. There's a river or a sea. Our lives are such that there will be moments in our life where we'll have to make one or two choices. And both the choices will be such that, what do I do? And that moment, the only thing we can truly do is not go back or front. It's just turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bani Israel, what did they do? They told Musa alayhi salam, "Oh Musa, you have destroyed us." What did Musa alayhi salam answer? "Kalla, inna ma'iya rabbi sahdin." My Lord is with me. And when my Lord is with me, He will show me guidance. And how will He show me guidance? From places that we can't even imagine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means turns only to Allah. Remember, taqwa, we translate as fear. We translate taqwa as fear. But in reality, the meaning of taqwa was never fear. So we mentioned previously also that Ubay bin Ka'b radiallahu anhu, who was one of the people who was most knowledgeable about the Quran, he was one of the called the Qurra of this ummah. From amongst the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, when he was asked about taqwa, he said, imagine a person wearing a woolen cloak and walking through a garden full of thorns. How is he going to walk? He's going to pull his shawl closer to him so that the thorn doesn't, the shawl doesn't stick to the thorns. And that's what taqwa is. But let's understand from a different perspective. What is taqwa? Taqwa is the way you fear your father. When you fear your father, you're not scared that he's going to, beat you up and like smash you against the wall or something. But you are scared that he will push you away. That's what you're scared of. You're scared that his love for you will become less. That's what you're scared of. In the same way, when we have taqwa from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not that we should fear Allah that He's going to throw us into Jahannam, but that Allah might push us away from His mercy and from His love. That is what taqwa is. So have trust just like you trust your father. As a child, you trust your father to save you from all problems. True or false? The child looks at his father as his superhero. Any problem, where do you go? To the father. Well, on the other hand, if you do anything wrong, the first person you're scared of is your father. Right? The same way, when you are in a bind and you're closed from both sides, you have to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the same time, you cannot turn to anyone else because your father might think, why is he going to someone else beside me? I'm there to help him all the time. That's the second lesson, right? The third lesson is, yes, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the same ayat that we took Fir'aun out of his gardens. And we took everything they had and gave it to Bani Israel. Gave it to Bani Israel. This is the last lesson we should take. That if we don't obey the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything that we enjoy will be taken away from us. And our enemies will enjoy the same benefits we have today. That means they will become Muslims. And history has shown it over and over again. Let's look at the Mongolian Empire. The Mongolians first came to destroy the Islamic Empire. Whoever read history knows that. Mongolians did not come to become Muslims. What did they come for? They came to destroy the Islamic Empire. After destroying all the Muslims, then Allah gave them hidayah to become Muslims. What actually happened was the people that were living there as Muslims were not obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah brought a nation. And the nation completely eradicated the people that did not obey the command of Allah. And then they enjoyed the ni'mat of Iman and all the blessings that previously the Muslims were enjoying. If you look into the Quran, I'll end up with this. Anyone has time, they go through Surah Saba. Surah Saba. Saba was a nation of the past. Was extremely powerful and lived in luxury. And they used to obey the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as they went against the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah completely destroyed them and brought a nation to overtake whatever they had, and that second nation enjoyed everything that they had. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from going against the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just to summarize quickly, first one is we will never be able to please our enemies, the enemies of Islam. So if you're going to continue to dilute Islam, a day will come that no Islam will be left, neither will they get hidayah. But if we speak nicely to them, keeping Islam within us, then inshallah Allah will allow them to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and take a lesson. Number two, that times will come when we'll be close in from both sides. At that time, if we turn to Allah, Allah will save us. Otherwise, if we turn to anyone else, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may destroy us. May Allah save us. And number three is that if we don't obey the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah may bring another nation. And when He brings another nation, we will be removed. And the other nation will enjoy everything that we are enjoying today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us to understand and bring these things within our lives.